It says we're live now.
Yeah, we're live now. Yeah, so
Well,
so when that arm thing you sent me, when that arrives, I can mount that to it because I got those adapters coming. So I can bring that array up, eye level, kind of in line, with the camera. Maybe that'll get rid of that shadow back there.
yeah, if you get the hey, Mr. Werner, hello, sir. Yeah, and if we get your ring light up set up, 45. You basically want them on 45s on each side. Hey,
So
can you mind?
So I need a second one.
Yeah, you need your ring light.
All I have is this array, this thing.
Oh, I thought you said you had a ring light.
I thought I did. It was this.
Ah, okay. Your cue, Don, to
Yep.
one of our established guests, besides Polybuck. Hi, Polybuck.
Oh, okay. Well, since I was working pretty hard with work today, are you deployed out in the forward area? Are you downrange? Does your command sergeant major want a really delicious icicle? Well, be sure to call HVAC Tactical Heating and Cooling Solutions for all your refrigeration and heating needs when you're downrange. Not only fighting the enemy, but boredom and the command sergeant major when he has the munchies. So call HVAC Tactical Heating and Air Conditioning Solutions.
See, now you worked on a second one for HVAC, and Ken O'Mine is still waiting for hers.
Well, she didn't give me much to go on. It's like she said, okay, I'm cheap. Not that she is, well, this is her words she gave you. Okay, so
She's not cheap. She's thrifty.
Thrifty. Well, let's see. She told me, she looks for errors. Being cheap. That's what she said. I put it right on there. Being cheap. Doesn't like to spend too much money, and she's an expert in acoustics. So
she definitely has good acoustics.
Yeah. So I got to figure out how to put thrifty and expert in looking for errors, coin errors, and then acoustics. Kind of throw that together. See, HVAC's kind of easy because it doesn't matter whether it's residential, commercial, or tactical.
Well,
they all need air conditioning.
Ken O'Mine said that ask her questions, and she lives in an auto salvage yard.
Auto salvage yard. Okay.
How can you have good hearing if you live in an auto salvage yard? If they're crushing vehicles, do they crush vehicles there, or do you guys crush vehicles there, or you just have them for parts and scrap them out?
Okay. Well,
I know
that's one more wrinkle.
People can make very good money doing that.
Yeah. So you think I need two of these then?
Well, we'll figure something out.
Yeah, let me get the arm and then mount that and get it, eye level in line with the camera.
Up and above. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure.
Now, I mean, I could take. That's my desktop lamp, but that doesn't really help unless I guess I do this, but that's too much.
Okay, now move the other little light to your other side.
Let's see. So move this over here.
Parts and resale. Okay.
45.
Polybuck says he's going to send you what to buy. I'm trying to get him so he doesn't have to spend any money, so he can buy more stuff. But yes, lighting is going to be kind of important.
Yeah.
Rhonda, hello. Gunny's quarterdeck. Good evening.
Yeah, this is too much. Yeah, because the light intensities they're not matched. So the luminous on this array is not the same as my desktop lamp. But I see I'm a little stuff. But you can make out the words on air better.
You can see on air now.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So maybe it's just a matter of.
And it won't even be an affiliate link.
Yeah, so baby steps. Okay.
Yeah, we'll get
That's
there.
getting, but you can almost read the dawn on it. Almost.
Almost. Yeah, that
this thing's on its high setting.
He changed his overhead to LED, and that lighting works okay, but he wants to be able to, for people to see the sign. But I think we're going to have to, or he is going to have to, like I live with him.
So you can see the light now, or you can see dawn.
But yeah, he wants folks to be able to see the
I
sign.
want people to see the dawn. I spent money on that.
So he's trying to not have to move that, and I'm not sure if it's going to work.
Yeah, it might be. It just might. I think, yeah, it might have to leave. I mean, move. Because it's just the lettering's too small. Or the font size is too small.
Yeah. Yeah, the only other thing I can suggest is if that has got a pivot head, turn that thing up and bounce the light off the ceiling.
Which one? The desk lamp or this thing? I could bounce both of them.
Try that one, because I think that one gets brighter.
Okay. So, okay, that's going. Oh, come on now.
Polybuck says the sign seems a touch small.
Yeah, it is.
Everything closer to the sign.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that's going to work with the way his desk arrangement is set up.
Mm-mm. Yeah, the font size is too big or too small, and I didn't take in consideration how far the camera is to that back wall.
Yeah.
So.
And the light source is too close to you. The desk lamp.
Yeah.
Hence why we're on here. By the way, I got interrupted. I got squirreled. Rhonda, I hope that you're feeling better. I did see you post on someone, I can't remember where.
Pretty lady, hope you're doing well.
That other than, I think they were going to be moving your IV, and then you were feeling actually pretty good, except for obviously.
You can almost make that out.
Where you had your situation addressed.
Yeah, I need the light for. I bet you it'll work if I can get this behind the camera.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Might have to wait till this weekend when that other arm.
Yeah, let's get the arm in first, and then because I think this thing's pretty. That's pretty bright by itself.
Yeah, but I was trying to bounce it off the ceiling.
Yeah.
To diffuse it a little bit.
What if I took this one and bounced it off the ceiling? No. Now it washes out.
No. Well, it washes out the sign, but you're lit better.
I'm lit better. Okay.
but the sign is washed out.
Yeah. So that's how the never mind the neon sign. The lighting like this is pretty good, would you say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or that's better.
It's better. Yeah, you don't have the dark shadows. And Flake City Parks, hello. Rhonda, that is great news that you are out of the hospital. Now 6-week rehab.
Oh, that's good news.
You're gonna be
that's
fine.
Really
yeah,
good news.
If they're get a disco strobe ball, then call it quits.
There you go. Thanks, Paulie.
No, that came from HVAC.
Yeah, no. Paulie said he sent me the link in Instagram message. So,
yep.
So I can get the lighting. Huh.
Yeah,
my desk lamp, the one I've had for. I've had that thing for what?
Since college.
19, almost 15 years.
Okay.
Huh, interesting. Yeah,
fishing
that
line
by
on
itself
a
would be
light,
bad.
hang it from the ceiling right behind you.
Say again.
Polybuck's comment.
Fishing line on the light, hang it from the ceiling. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, I could put some hooks in there or something. Yeah. Or I could just order a new sign and put bigger font in a bigger font.
Well, you could do that, but it might be easier, cheaper to get a couple of cheap LED adjustable lights like you have. You got one.
Well, yeah, it was starting to get there. You could start seeing it out. Just getting the lamp in this, like the 45-degree thingy going.
Yeah.
But the luminous is obviously different between this thing and that. So,
Yeah,
but
it's tough. But like I said, the biggest, I know you want the sign, and I know you want like the drop shadow like I got with the accented light.
well,
And-
I mean,
and we'll
the
get
drop
there.
shadow's cool, but
the most
I'd
important
rather-
thing is your face, right now. We can work on the lighting. When you get your other piece of equipment in, we can play with it some more.
yeah.
And I'll send you fishing line, Polybuck says.
That's cool because I don't have any.
Yeah, we use depending on what, I mean, because we've got perch and we got a lot of panfish, sunfish type stuff. So we use some lightweight fishing line that you can't see. That works well for that kind of stuff. Down where you're at, I'm guessing there's still, I mean, I'm sure that there's panfish and other things in your area. But
Oh,
most
you
of the
mean-
people are probably big bass fishermen down there, I'm guessing.
Oh, you mean where I'm at?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fishing's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got Lake Gunnersville, and that's where they have the fall. They have the they usually have two. I know they have one big. It's part of the bass fishing pro circuit. And they're always there. I think in the spring, and then in the fall they do like a regional fundraiser. And the funny thing is, all those guys that do the pro series come back again. So in essence, they get to fish on that lake twice.
Uh,
And
I don't know if the bass guys come to Michigan
it's,
or not.
it's Lake Gunnersville for those that would like to know. And
I know the walleye fishermen, the professional tournaments. I
Yeah.
know that they were coming back and hitting the Saginaw Bay and Saginaw River and stuff. They have a big walleye festival every year. But Silver Frogman, hello. Trying to catch
Hey,
people
Silver
as they
Frogman,
pop
what's
in.
up?
If I've missed you, I apologize.
Hmm.
Okay, thanks, Kindle Mine, for stopping by. We were just trying to figure out lighting.
yeah, actually, that thing's not that bad. Put this one. It's interesting, and I spent money to put those bright sun, white light LEDs in there.
Well,
Like-
they were they should have been. Yeah, they were daylight.
No, they're daylight. Yeah, they're daylight LEDs.
Yeah. Flag City Parks, I would assume that they are, but with this weather being as weird as it has, as cold as it got, and then it's supposed to, I mean, it was like 29 degrees when I got up this morning.
Oh, we got a freeze warning tonight.
Yeah, it's 39 right now, and Saturday and Sunday is supposed to be in the 70s. So, but yes, normally the salmon are running, depending on what part of the state. Obviously, the Lower Peninsula. The Upper Peninsula of Michigan, by the way, made national news. They got 18 inches of snow 2 days
Oh,
ago,
really?
or yesterday.
Wow.
But it'll all be gone. It's all going to melt because it's going to be in the 70s over the weekend. But yeah, 18. Last I heard, it was 18 inches in Marquette, which is way up in the Upper Peninsula on the shoreline of Lake Superior. And the wind was coming off from the north, so it was picking up lake effect and everything else.
Yeah. I made that sign too small. Ugh, what do I know?
But I haven't been fishing at all this year, Lake City, so actually I haven't done any salmon fishing in probably 4 or 5 years.
What's fishing? I
used to do a lot of fishing. We grew up perch fishing, and we'd go to Canada for walleye. That was before they restocked or was starting to stock the Saginaw Bay and getting all that cleaned up because of all the GM factories from the 60s and 70s. So we'd go to Canada for walleye, and but I grew up. I mean, we ate everything that we caught. I mean, back then there was no limit, but we ate every single one. You know, we got to a point where we wouldn't keep anything under, 5 or 6 inches, and anything over like 10 inches we threw back, because then they just get tough. As far as perch go. So anyway, that's my long and short story of fishing.
Last time I picked up a fishing pole, I think I was still in the Boy Scouts.
yeah, it's been a couple of years.
Tell you the truth.
Hello, stacking perpetrator.
So that was, I think I stayed in Scouts till I almost, I think until my junior, senior year in high school. I was like, okay, I gotta focus on getting ready to go to school. So, hey, Perp, what's going on, man? Yeah, I am so behind on everybody's videos. I'm sorry if I haven't been watching people's videos and leaving comments. I've just been super swamped.
Yeah, he's been a little busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He'll send me a text and I'll respond, and he'll either respond right away and then I can respond right away, or I don't hear from him for 6 hours, which means that he had like a 2-second break and thought of something and sent me a note, and I'll hear back whenever.
Yeah, I had a very short but productive conversation with my customer. So she was really good. She answered a question that I had. I was like, I don't know how to respond to this, and she was really cool, to help me with that. So she gave me some pointers, and I was like, okay, off I go.
Let's see. Got a fishing rod and gun behind my woods. I'd rather buy lures in auctions and resell them. There is a huge market for those old lures, and I happen to have a tackle box of some. And I have a feeling that my brother and I, when the time comes, and I hope it's not for many, many years, and my dad passes, we're going to have some really old lures, because he got all of his father's and grandfather's lures. So we're going back 1920-ish, somewhere in there, for his grandpa. So there's some old lures, and a couple of them he's got stolen boxes.
Oh yeah,
those bring a premium.
Yeah, it's again, we had can on bottle caps.
Yep.
Fishing lures. I mean, there's a collectible for just about. I mean, there's people that collect pins.
Yeah, everything.
You name it, I'll bet you there's a collecting niche for that. It's incredible.
Speaking of which, I got a pen from somebody today. It's pretty cool.
Oh. Yeah. Did you see when I screwed it? Did you see my note on the business card when he screwed it up?
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah,
that's gotta drive you absolutely insane.
it drives me nuts because I know I put E3 in there because that's what it's supposed to, because that's the department that I work for,
Right.
and it's oh, because in the community, in the aviation community that I'm supporting, the work that I'm doing is shorthanded for E3. Uh, and for those that want to know, it's electromagnetic environmental effects.
And they forgot the most important part. Like
Yeah.
the E.
So, yeah. Well, I mean, the company paid for those, so I don't know. Maybe I'll take a couple of those to like Staples or something, and maybe they can make a batch for me or something, and we'll correct it. But I don't really need them, because I'm not like going out and like meeting people like you did with your job, because you went out and met vendors and customers and salespeople and
Yep.
distributors and everything. So you were probably handing out your business card like it was candy.
Yeah, I would get. Yes, I went through a lot of business cards.
Yeah.
Stacking Perpetrator just received a 1,600-year-old milk bottle top in the mail today.
Oh.
Is it porcelain or ceramic of some sort?
Milk bottle tops. Is it the kind of is the wire?
It should be the. That's what I was thinking. The ring
And it's
type.
got like the cork where
Yeah.
pull down on the handle and then squeeze.
Yep.
Make the airtight seal or something like that.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's 1600s. Wow.
1,600 old. Oh, a quantity of 1,600.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. That's still a lot of
Yeah, what are you gonna do with 1600?
milk bottle caps. Well, if he sells them for $1 a piece,
Well, people are like,
plus ship,
well, it's just
after
like we were saying.
fees, he'll end up with, around $1,000.
Yeah.
Beanie Babies, they're making a comeback. Figures.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, and next you're going to tell me the Cabbage Patch Kids are back too.
Yeah,
That's
that's
so funny.
more of the. Yeah, I bet you probably within the next 5 to 10 years that those will be. Because those were the gifts that I got my children who are millennials.
Speaking of which, I want to say last 2 days or 3 days or so, the news has been talking about Generation X, our generation.
Correct.
And yeah, it's a little politics and stuff, but trying to avoid talking about politics per se. That they're talking about our generation and how we're kind of starting to step up and take charge and things like that.
Stuff that I've been seeing is we're called the lost generation.
Who's that? Us?
Yeah, because you had the baby boomers,
Mm-hmm.
and then us, which is a very small segment, and then you had the millennials, which was the next baby boom, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Pet rocks are back also. I don't think pet rocks actually went out of style. In fact, those have always been expensive, especially when you get one. And I actually got one as a present when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
It came in a little wooden box with straw and stuff. Yeah. Or was it cardboard? I don't know. It came in a box with straw. I just remember that.
I always wanted to try a chia pet.
Chia?
Chia.
Well, you just go down to Walgreens. I'm sure they got them already.
They
I know
probably
Walmart
still have
probably
them.
does.
Yeah. If they're not at Toys R Us, they're probably in the home and garden section at Lowe's or Wally
Yeah.
World or something, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they ever
Yeah, but
stopped making those, right?
the Chia Pets?
Yeah. They're still around, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I said, they should be hitting the airwaves any time now because they always, you know, for the holidays. I mean, who doesn't know that jingle? Chia. Stretch Armstrong. A buddy of mine had one. We actually ripped it in half. It's amazing what you can do with some rope and a couple of bikes and two determined kids.
Yeah.
Two determined
I got a
boys.
I got a scar right here from when we had our little BMX dirt bikes and stuff, and you build the ramps, and yeah, I came down hard. Yeah, instead of landing on the back wheel, yeah, I tipped forward.
Everybody
I
did.
flipped, and both my hands went out like this to stop me, and I was kind of like on the edge of the pavement or road or whatever. This side was pavement, and this side was had gravel, and I actually had a piece of gravel embedded where I had this little scar. It was actually in my hand, and it took a while to get it out, because for like a couple of days, it's just it didn't bleed. And the funny thing, it didn't get infected or anything like that. It was just weird. And then I started looking and going, why are you not healing? And I started touching. I was like, hey, that's not right.
Yep. Any kid from the 70s and 80s can appreciate, and if they did anything like that, and most of us did, it's either your knees, elbows, hands, maybe your face, back, whatever. And I want to say, was it lava soap? They had the little pebbles in it to exfoliate type stuff. One of the guys that I, growing up in the neighborhood, he actually had to go to the hospital, and they had to, because everything was embedded, and they had to scrape all that stuff out to eliminate the possibility of infection. Yeah, good times. Good times. Clap on, clap off. Yeah, never had one of those. Neighbor did. She thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. She was probably my age, thinking back on it now, back then, when those come out in the 70s, she was probably, in her 50s or older, which was old when you're, 8, 9 years old, 10 years old.
How many 80s Star Wars and Star Trek Chia Pets do you want? Over here, I got a like a bookshelf kind of thing with some storage underneath. So maybe I'll have, if I could put that up behind where you see the Falcon and the command post, I'm gonna set that up there and put some Chia Pets up there. But I actually want to get the Lego set for the Boba Fett. They call it the Boba Fett Starfighter. We all know it. Who've seen the original movie, we know by a different name, but I'm not going to bring it up because it's not politically correct. And then they had was it the Razor Crest from The Mandalorian? That Lego set is like $120 or something like that. The Boba Fett fighter is like about 40-ish, but it's like $110. I'm like, you got to be kidding me!
As long as you
I mean, it's like what?
Buy it and keep it sealed and don't open it, and you can sell it in 25 years and triple.
No, it's a Lego set. You're supposed to bust it out and put it together.
Yeah, you just increase the value. But there's a whole community on YouTube that they do that.
No! Oh, and they make animated motion stop like movies.
Yeah, they do that, and they do that with wrestlers and everything else. The action figure wrestlers and stuff. I mean, the big channels too. It's like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah. Huge community. You'd just be surprised.
Yeah. Hey, Big E.
Big E, what's up, man?
Well, he put a nail through his foot building a fort, and all I did was pull it out and got my parents' house and get a tetanus shot. Yeah. I didn't put one through mine, but I stepped on one. And then went through my shoe and up into my foot. That was no fun, because back then I had a tetanus shot from a previous incident, so I was good there. But what was that stuff? It was red. We would put on cuts as kids in the 70s.
Oh, iodine?
No, it wasn't iodine. There was some other name for it. I can't think of it. It burnt. It made hydrogen peroxide seem like a walk in the park.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess it was iodine. Okay.
Yeah,
I want my original Erector set in the metal container back.
Ugh.
Lots of stuff I wish I still had from the 70s.
My brother has it, but he says he can't find it because I don't have it, and my mom gave it to him. But we had my brother and I went in. We saved our allowance, and we went in and got the Transformer Jetfire, transforming toy, right? And it stood, it was pretty tall. It was like over a foot tall, and that's tall for a Transformer toy.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't last long because the Transformer, when it was either in plane mode or robot mode, didn't look like anything that was on the original cartoon that was out there in the 80s. What they did is they inadvertently, I don't know, it was on purpose, accidentally, I don't know, but they went and took the Veritech fighter from what's that series? Robotech. They took that fighter, and it was a transforming robot and all that, but that's all, I think, Bandai or something in Japan. But somehow Hasbro got that plans or whatever, took that Veritech Robotech fighter and then called him, instead of, was it Skyfire in the cartoon, they called it Jetfire as the toy, and it didn't last long because Bandai said, you can't do that, so they had to stop making it. So if you have that Jetfire set with the armor and all that stuff, that is a very high dollar.
Yeah, all that was after me. I'm a few years older than you, so I grew up on Saturday morning Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry and Mighty Mouse, those type of cartoons. By the time Transformers and all that stuff had come around, I was already starting high school. So
yeah, because I'm talking early 80s.
Yeah,
when all that stuff
I
came
started
out.
high school.
Yeah.
So
Well, see, I knew you were older than me. I didn't realize you were that older.
I'm not that much. A few
Wait.
a few years.
I still got that daggone thing to set up. Whew.
It takes like 5 seconds.
I know.
Well,
I know.
it's not true.
Well, I'm still running on the older OBS, and I'm scared to go, update to the newest revision. I'm like,
Well,
So we'll do the lighting thing, we'll get the lighting right. I'll go get something to hang the sign up closer. There's no need for me to go make a new sign. That's just a waste. I'll figure out a nice way to stand it behind me or something. Because I really do like the sign.
well, Mr. Werner still has his Erector set in American Flyer from the 1950s.
Okay. Wow. There you go.
Now we're
American.
talking money.
Yeah.
Big E still watches cartoons, never stop. Hey, I know plenty of people like that. There's nothing wrong with it.
Let's go watch cartoons.
Every once in a while, if I come across the Cartoon Network, I heard, is no more, right?
Oh.
Or it's not going to be anymore. It's getting.
Oh, I don't know.
They were sold and basically dismantled, and they're gonna keep a couple of them on whatever the new the other channel is that acquired them. Whoever.
Yeah, well, I know all
Paramount or
the.
something. I can't remember the whole story.
Yeah,
But
I think is it Warner Brothers is owned by HBO. Is that right? And so they took all Bugs Bunny and everybody, and now they're all on like HBO Max. So if you want to go see like Donald Duck and the crew, you got to subscribe to them, or pay for it or whatever.
and I'm sure it's only the PC approved ones, not the ones we grew up with.
No,
Like
no.
Yosemite
You know
Sam
who I
or-
miss? I miss Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. Yeah, because I wish I had stock in the Acme company with all the stuff he bought.
Flag City Parts pleading the fifth on somebody who's sitting on probably 7 to 8 figures worth of merchandise.
Oh my god.
Yep. I unfortunately don't have. Trying to think.
Well, okay. Okay. Do you know what I'm talking about? Flag City Parks, the Skyfire Jetfire Transformer, because it's actually a Robotech, Veritech fighter. Boy, my inner nerd is really coming out.
Yeah, that's okay.
And of course, everybody's like, "What the hell is he talking about? Robo what?"
I just saying, but hey, whatever floats your boat. HVAC says Wiley had dynamite clearance papers. That's how he could purchase all that. Yeah, and they shipped it right to his house. Hey, there was a day where you could buy stuff like that through the Sears catalog and they'd ship it to your house.
Yeah. There
including
sure was.
pew-pews,
Mhm.
houses, I believe class 1 narcotics. That was also used for medicinal purposes back then. You could get anything from Sears back in the day. It's sad to see what happened to that company.
Okay, yeah, Flag City. Yeah, he knows what I'm talking about. It's either HBO bought Warner Brothers or Warner Brothers bought HBO. One of those two things, and then they pulled in the reins on all the Looney Tunes stuff. So if you're subscribed to HBO Max, streaming service, you can go and see Looney Tunes cartoons. But I haven't really looked into it. But I think you're right. They don't necessarily show the old school stuff that
Right.
isn't PC.
Correct. Especially
Which is the good cartoons,
like Elmer Fudd,
Mm-hmm. I want big wascally wabbit.
Yeah, they're not going to show somebody walking around the woods trying to shoot an animal with a pew-pew.
So speaking of Looney Tunes, so you can still, since you and I kind of started the Warner Brothers,
I don't know.
Silver,
What do you
around.
think? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I got, you and I both, we got, Bugs and Donald.
Yep.
So.
What, did they release another one already?
No, not that I know of. Polybug keeps up on that stuff. He's the one that he put out a quick post about the DC series, and they're coming out with the next one, which is Green Lantern, and that's the one I've been waiting for the DC characters. So it was Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, the Aquaman, and then now it's the Green Lantern, and that's the one I've been waiting for, because that's in the DC universe. Green Lantern's my favorite character.
Yeah, I did see that post. I don't remember if you did it on
So
or if it was on Instagram.
Yeah. So Polybug's. Oh, he's like up on all that stuff. So, if and when the next Looney Tune drops, I'm sure he'll be the first to know. But
Yeah.
Maybe it's delayed because of the Queen. Changing over from from her, from Her Majesty, or from the Queen to Charles. I don't, maybe that plays into it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, there's three.
Remind me in the green room on a topic.
Okay.
Um.
Yeah, don't even bother reading Flag City Park's comment, because
I tried to. My eyes went cross.
Yeah, him and I are speaking that language.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, there's like what, nerd, and there's geek, and then there's like what, uber
Obsessive
geek.
compulsive.
Yeah, it was metal. Yep. Yeah, it was Generation 1. Yeah, it was. Oh, I didn't know they made
Actually,
Gundams.
what you're talking about, I do remember reading something about that some time ago, or saw something. Maybe it was on Antique Roadhouse or something. Somebody had some toys, and they went through the whole spiel about they made toys that they shouldn't have, and they got hammered and had to stop, and that's what they had, was that whatever one you're talking about.
Yep.
And I
No,
can't
that was
remember
one
the
of them.
valuation or anything, but I remember hearing a story about that.
Yeah.
That they had lifted some, and that wasn't the only one. There was a few other things that they had taken. Some
There's
being U.S. company took some liberties on some patents.
and there was a German company who borrowed from, is it Kenner or Hasbro? Probably Hasbro. G.I. Joe stuff. It kind of took it took the action figures and all the equipment, the F-14 Tomcat Sky Striker, all those vehicle toys, and kind of made them into their own series, and they got no.
Yeah.
So it's all part of that, what you're talking about there.
Yeah. I guess I haven't worn a hat in a while. I went to go get my haircut today for the third time in the last week, and the parking lot is completely full. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they're serving beer in there now or what. But
Oh, it is. Well, I mean, there is. Is there is there a German influence in Michigan? I was going to say it's Oktoberfest, right?
On the east side of the state, yes.
But you're on the
West side, which is primarily Dutch.
Dutch. Oh, okay. It was Kenner. Okay, Kenner. Yeah.
So hopefully, unfortunately and fortunately, I have a physical therapy appointment tomorrow, which is absolutely gonna kill me. But I need to have it done. I got to get my muscles worked on with what's going on with me. So I figured I'd leave there and then I'd go get my hair cut before I had to come home and take a bunch of meds to subside the torture that my physical therapist, who is, by the way, very, very good at what she does. But it's just breaking up knotted muscles and trying to get some range of motion and doing things that she needs to do for that. Not good. It's not gonna be pretty. But I'm gonna attempt one more time tomorrow to get my hair cut.
Oh, so you didn't get it today?
No. Like I said, and I went. I had to go to the post office. There's some stuff I had to drop off.
Right.
And on the way back is where I get my hair cut. So I went to the post office about 10 o'clock. Figuring 10 o'clock, they open at 9. I don't want to be the first customer because who knows if, want them to wake up a little bit, have some coffee. And that was a tactical error on my behalf. Like I said, there wasn't a parking spot. And
Wow.
I looked in the window and there was, people all lined up. And they had 3 people in the chairs all cutting. So they were, and they zipped through them pretty good. but still, I didn't want to go and sit and wait for an hour.
No.
That's not.
What they only open like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or something limited.
No,
time
they're open
hours?
6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. They're closed on Sunday, but they rotate. The people that are cutting hair, they rotate, right? So they're all working 5 days a week, but they stagger it.
Oh yeah. Well, it just
but
seems
most
weird.
people want to work Saturdays because they're always busy, and they work. They get tips too. So,
Mhm.
Tulip farmers on west side of Michigan. Yes, in Holland, they grow a lot. In fact, they have the National Tulip Festival there every year. It's always made. It used to make national news. I haven't
when
watched
I-
much national news coverage in many years on regular TV, I should say, on the major networks.
And when my family, when we lived in Germany, we toured Amsterdam or the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And we were in. Where did we visit? Rotterdam. No, wait, is Rotterdam Denmark? I don't know. I'm getting my geography all mixed up. Let's see. Obviously, we were stationed in. It was West Germany at the time. Did go to Belgium, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, France, Spain, the little country in between Switzerland and Austria, which is Liechtenstein. So went through been to Switzerland a couple of times, Austria once, the little country Liechtenstein, went there once, and then we went to Italy. As good Catholics, we actually went on Easter week or whatever. So that Easter Sunday, we were actually in the Basilica
In the Vatican.
Yeah, we weren't not inside, but the large open
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
But we were
It's called Holy Week, by the way.
Yeah, thank you, Holy Week. But we weren't technically actually in the Vatican because they already sectioned it off, and there's like a street a road that kind of cuts across and kind of circles around that open area. That is that what's called the Basilica? I can't remember. But that open area,
the cathedral.
the Basilica is the parish, right?
That's the actual church.
Okay, that's the actual church. Okay, whatever
Yeah.
the Vatican open park arena area is, or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
St. Peter's Square. Thank you.
Yes.
Ugh.
St. Peter's Square.
So
yes.
the intention was to be in St. Peter's Square
Hey,
during.
John Jacobs.
What's up, John Jacobs? So thank you for bailing me on that. So the plan was to be in St. Peter's Square for the service, but it was already packed, so we were actually standing in Rome.
You heathen.
Yeah. So.
So you're not, because obviously I'm sure that you're well aware that Vatican City is its own country, right?
Oh, it is.
Yes.
Very much so. They have embassies, they have their own bank, they have their own security force, which
Yes.
is
The
ran
Swiss Guard.
by the Swiss Guard.
And you do not mess with it. Yes,
No.
they have the colorful uniforms, and it's a tradition that goes back to the 1400s or whatever.
Right.
You do not want to mess with those gentlemen because
No,
they have
yeah.
all been trained. They are like the Secret Service of the Swiss Army.
Yes. Yeah. That's right. They are considered. They're still active duty Swiss Army, but they go through. They're not just. They're full time active duty, and they're just beyond like standard infantry training. They would be the equivalent of, I would argue, nearly a tier 1 operator.
Yeah.
For, our special.
From what I've read, that's what I understand too.
Yeah, they're pretty doggone close to that stuff. And I watched this. I can't remember if it was in the. I don't know if it was a documentary or. No, we didn't see it when we actually toured the Basilica. But no, they have. They got equipment.
Yes, they do.
They got equipment. That's all I'm
They
going
do.
to say.
They do.
And it's all Swiss made, so it's good stuff. Anyway,
Uh,
but that was a good time, and the food was awesome. Oh,
yeah,
always, every meal was a good meal in Italy. Didn't matter where we ate; it was just good.
I just want to go and have fresh pesto pasta.
Uh,
You know.
uh, wait, what? Oh, pesto
Yeah.
on pasta?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. You need to tell the folks in chat about Hong Kong and the noodles.
Someday. That's a story all unto itself. I like noodles.
Yes.
I have traveled the
Oh,
world eating noodles.
who doesn't like noodles?
And there's different types of noodles depending on where you go in Asia too.
And which country you're in.
Then depending on your country and how, yes. But it's
Yeah.
all good to me because everyone I went to, and even regions. But then China, there's difference between Hong Kong and mainland China, and then from the southern China and northern China, there's differences.
And all the provinces in between.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Normally we would fly because it's a huge country.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if we were going up north to Shanghai, for example, that was like a 3-hour or 3.5-hour flight from Hong Kong. So it's like flying across the country. Which was always fun because it was the airlines like it was here in the United States back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. The only thing they didn't allow smoking on the planes. However, when you got your meal, they brought it out on real silverware with real dishes, real china, real tablecloths. None of this stuff wrapped in plastic or anything like that. It was really, really good food.
Well, I mean, you can still get that now, and in super extreme, first class on.
Well, you go first
You know.
class, you get that, yes. And even some business classes for international flights.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my company wouldn't pay for that. They would pay up. They would cover the cost for coach, and then if I wanted to upgrade to business class, then I had to pay the difference
Or use your points.
or use my points, which I didn't do. Which worked
Yeah,
out fine because my wife ended up using, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of miles I had. Let's just put it this way: she flew to Florida to see her parents 3 or 4 years in a row. Never cost her a penny.
Wow.
Her and my daughter, and then also her, my daughter, and her niece a couple times. Yeah, so 2-3 plane tickets for several years. In fact, I still have miles on that card. Not much left, but I got enough to.
And they changed the laws, right? So they can't expire, right?
Yeah, it was always that way with
Oh, okay.
the airline that I was with, which was Northwest. And then they merged with, who did they merge with? Delta. Everybody used to brag on us for flying Northwest because everybody said it was Northworst. I personally never had a bad experience, especially on international flights. The worst experiences I always had was American Airlines.
You too?
Yeah, when I was flying down to from Michigan to Charlotte
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, I always.
Or it was it Charlotte or Nashville? One of them, it's one of their hubs.
For
So one of
American,
my-
I think it's. Oh. Okay.
American Airlines, I think, is Charlotte.
Yeah.
as a hub.
No. That's. No, I thought that was U.S. Air.
Oh, U.S. Air. That's
Yeah.
another one that was no good.
Yeah. No, it's Atlanta, isn't it? No, that's
No.
Delta. That's Delta. Never mind.
Yeah. Anyway, they called it Northworst, and
Yeah.
like I said, I never had any problem, and that's what we used flying international. So, of course, I mean, how bad can it be when you're on a 747? Those things are gigantic. You can get up, move around. walk and talk, and you got a free snack bar open, you know, all the tea and sodas that you wanted.
Yeah.
Now, things have changed since my last trip overseas, I'm sure. So I think my last trip was in 2010 or 2011, somewhere in there. So my uncle is from Sicily. He's a cooking basket case. He should be a chef. Yeah, I have on my mother's side there. Her father was 100% Italian, but they're from the Naples and, dare I say, Sicily.
And by the way, yeah, that guy. Yeah, it was his idea. He's the one that came up with the Dawn. So
We think we're kind of undecided on that. But
no, I've decided you're the ones who created it. you came up with it, so
it doesn't
you get
matter.
the credit.
Still, well, you came up with the name. I come up with the acronym.
Yeah. Well, it didn't dawn on me that Department of Numismatic is, the Dawn, as in, your Sicilian ties back to
Sicilian
a
and
certain
Naples.
group of individuals.
Sicilian and Naples. And some from northern Italy. They're getting more refined with, how they can do all that stuff now. So I've really got to print that book out. I've been paying for that for years and years and years through Ancestry, and I've done about as much research as I can do.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I could keep doing it, but I'm back on my one side, 1400s or something like that. But I got a stone wall, and I can't read German, so I can't get too much further on the other side. And then everything else, they all emigrated, or not they all, a lot of them emigrated from Italy or Ireland afterwards. And then
Do you
once
have a
get back
family
into Irish
crest?
and Italian, same type thing. The Irish side, it's a very common name, and there's a gazillion records to go through, and I'm not doing it. I already know I'm Irish there. And I know I'm Italian. The German part is what I'd like to dig further into, but it gets into, because we're talking I can go back to like the 1830s, 1840s, when they started emigrating. And there's records available, but they're only available in German, going into, with the German records. And obviously I can't speak or read or write German. I could pay somebody at Ancestry to go through it.
Oh, yeah. You could. Yeah. You can pay them.
a couple
Or
$100 an hour.
Or you can wait, because Google, I believe Google is working on some kind of app where you use your camera, you take a picture of the script, the paper, whatever, with whatever language it is, it'll translate it, and then it'll present it to you in your native language. So it'll read it and translate it for you. It's like still in beta testing or something like that.
Yeah, a lot of it's church records, baptismal records,
Yeah.
marriage licenses, death notices, all the typical stuff.
All the bureaucratic paperwork.
So that's where I'm at a standstill there. But as far as everything else, I found out about as much as I can, and I've been paying for it for years. Basically, I've kept it going because my oldest daughter is digging into her mother's side of the family. So I've kept it I've just been paying for it so she can go in and update that information. So that's fine. That makes her happy. So
Do you have a family crest?
I believe we do. I think we have two actually. I know we got one for sure. I don't know if I've mentioned it on this channel. I think I've told you, but I actually have an ancestor that came over on the Mayflower. And so I do have some British and Irish and Wales, that whole region. So, but I think that there is one for the one family, and there may be for the other. I would have to look at it again. I thought I printed it out. I think there. I know there is for the one. Surname. Stacking perpetrator. Mail is from Michigan is so slow. I hate when I order something that runs through Michigan postal area. Depending on where it's going. If it's going through Detroit, yes. If it doesn't go through Detroit and it's on the west side of the state and it goes through the Grand Rapids hub, they're normally pretty good. But you run through the Detroit hub, and I've had stuff get lost there for weeks. You know, it's like, just find it. I'll drive. It takes me 2 hours. It takes me 2.5 hours to drive over there, and I'll just go pick it up instead of waiting 4 days for it to ship from Detroit to where I'm at.
What I don't understand, well, where I live, if I want to mail something, say it's an official thing, official paperwork you got to mail in, right? But it's on the other side of Huntsville, I put it in the mail. It leaves Huntsville, goes to Birmingham, then comes back to Huntsville to go to its final destination in Huntsville. I don't understand why it has to go to the main state hub and then just come back. It makes no sense to me.
Probably where the sorting station is. There isn't a sorting station at the local post office.
I guess so.
Well, I know that the package that I received today, that person shipped it out on Monday. Today is Wednesday. And it came, 1,200 miles? Roughly? 1,100?
Something like that, yeah.
And I got it in 2 days.
Yep. Because I got yeah, it's for me.
Yes,
and I got it in because my PO box is the distribution center for Huntsville, so it
Correct.
serves Huntsville, Madison, and pretty much this whole northern area of Alabama. And the truck leaves for Birmingham at like 5 p.m. So I gotta get your package in there by 4, so it can get on the truck to get to Birmingham. And that if I can get it in on time, that shaves a day off right there because it's already moving.
Same thing. If I can get it to the post office before 10 a.m., it'll move to the distribution center with the first truck out. Which means it'll process faster. But if I put something in my mailbox, I don't know what they do, but it doesn't seem to slow things down. Then if I take it to the post office after 10, it's weird. I don't know how to explain it. Like if I send something today for a 2-day delivery, and it's in my post office and they don't pick it up until 4, it still gets there in 2 days. If they pick it up from my house. If I take it to the post office today, like at 4, it won't get there until Thursday. Or 3, it takes 3 days, actually.
So it's faster. It's faster to pick it up from your box at your house than it is for you to drop it off at the distribution center.
Correct. But
That's
it's
weird.
got to fit. It's got to fit in my box, in my mailbox.
Yeah, that's weird.
Let's see. Perpetrator. All my tracking gets hung up in Detroit. Yep, that's what I said. Detroit is a black hole. Not as bad as, was it, New Jersey?
Oh God. Yeah.
Although a very popular YouTuber is in that area. I normally get stuff from that person. See, Tuesday, Wednesday. I normally get it by Saturday, so it's only like 3 days coming from there, which is not bad.
Mm.
My mother's side goes back to German Goths dating before 1365, Lake City Parks. Yeah, doesn't surprise me. And I mean, it would be interesting. I just wish I guess I could learn how to speak and read German and figure it out myself.
Oh, guten Abend, Herr Gen X. Wie geht es Ihnen? Was gibt Neues?
That's what I need to do.
Yeah.
I need to hire Mr. Resnick.
Yes. That. I don't know. I bet you he speaks like a handful of languages.
I think he's fluent in 3 or 4 at least.
Yeah.
He probably can pass muster.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Yeah. I know he speaks German. He does. So I think that's one of the ones he's fluent is German for sure. Because he said stuff to me, I'm like, yeah. Ich weiß nicht, was du hast gesagt.
Yeah, okay.
I don't understand what you just said.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ich
It could have been one of those words. I don't know. Stacking Perpetrator, for example, I get a package from California in 3 days. Anything in Michigan is $8 minimum. Yes and no. Me and the Don have sent multiple packages back and forth, and I don't think that there's been anything more than. I had that one that got held up for some reason. It took like a week to get to you.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's only like 3 days, 4 days.
Yeah, but 3 days. And if I move her fast enough, I send something to you, you get it too. No
I get
problem.
it in 2. Yeah, I get it from 2 days from you. And that's not, he's not paying for express or overnight or
No,
anything.
that's just
regular,
first class with tracking. Yeah.
4 days from Flint to Chambersburg. Yeah, there's your problem.
Okay.
You got to go from Flint to Detroit, more than likely. Maybe Pontiac. Does Pontiac have a Pontiac? Maybe if it gets routed through Pontiac, it'd be okay. But if it's Flint to Detroit, then yeah, you're. Now Chambersburg. I'm guessing Chambersburg. That's Pennsylvania. I'm taking a complete wild guess. Because everything in Pennsylvania is.
What ends in Berg?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Franklin County. Yep. South Central region. Yeah, I drive through Chambersburg, I believe, when I go to Gettysburg. But I haven't been to Gettysburg in a couple of years.
Hey, what's that? It's like I want to say it's Fort Union or something like that, but it's kind of like a military preparatory school. It's or Valley Forge or something like that. Anyway, the movie Taps was filmed there.
Hill. Yeah, but it wasn't called Bunker Hill. They called it Bunker Hill.
Yeah, the movie's called Bunker Hill, but it's another. It's like a real 2-year college preparatory school. I can't.
Yeah, I can't think of it either.
But it's in Pennsylvania.
Is it?
I think so. Yeah, if I recall. And I don't I don't think it's not. Well, yeah, it's in Pennsylvania. At least I think it is. Yeah, I want to say it's Fork Union or something like that. But anyway,
Yeah, Flake City Parks. FedEx and UPS. I believe their major hub is in no. FedEx is in
well, I know.
yeah, 20 miles west of Gettysburg. That's what I thought. I thought I drove through Chambersburg. Yeah, FedEx, their main hub is in Kentucky, and UPS is in is it Tennessee? Yep, Route 30.
No, I thought FedEx's hub was in Nashville. I don't know. This is logistics stuff.
I should know. I mean, I only sent literally millions of parts through both facilities. Yeah, 20 miles west. That's what I thought. Because that Route 30 is what brings you in to Gettysburg, or one of the ways. Chambersburg Pike, I think is what they changed. It's still Route 30, but it was Chambersburg Pike, I believe, during the battle. So, well, so I think we determined a couple of things.
Yeah.
You need to move your sign closer.
Yeah. Sign needs to move closer.
You need to work on the lighting a little bit more.
Yeah. I think I'll probably need to break down and get like matching sets of lights. You know, like it's a 45-degree. Get rid of the shadow and.
Yeah. Check and see what Polly Buck was referring to earlier.
Yeah.
I'd shoot him a note and see.
Yeah.
Because I know the first set, the fill light that I use off on this side came in a set of 2, and it's got different color lenses, and it's got its own tripods, which is fine if you've got room in front of your desk or a way to mount the lights to your desk. And they were relatively inexpensive.
Yeah. I think I'm going to need something that kind of clamps to the desk instead of sitting on the desk because I'm like really tight for real estate.
Yeah.
So something that can clamp to the, to the desk or to the tabletop or whatever. That would be ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. At least I got a decent camera, so that helps.
Yeah,
that helps a lot.
Yep. Well, good camera and good audio. Good audio is probably the most important, other than the content. And as far as equipment goes, probably audio.
Yeah.
Because most people can get by with so video, but if the audio is breaking up or you can't hear them, at least I do. I switch off.
Yeah, that'll turn off a lot of people.
So, but my back is telling me it's time for me to go. That doesn't mean that you have to go.
No, I got things to do.
So I do want to appreciate everybody that stopped in for just an impromptu thing. We were trying to play around with his lighting, so anybody that came in late, real quick, this was a lighting test. He has another light, but he's trying to get his neon light to show up without washing it out with the overhead light, and So as you can see, it is there. But I think it's,
Nope.
I think like Mr. Polybuck said, it needs to be brought closer to the camera.
Yeah, I think so because it's the font size is just too small. Yeah. I didn't do the math. I should figure out this distance and blah blah blah. And boy.
So anyway, that was what the premise behind the whole impromptu meeting was, and you got to listen to us babble on, as well as have conversation with the chat, which is always fun. So I just want to thank everybody for stopping in. I appreciate it. And until next time, 73.
Thanks, Gen X, and hey, thanks for joining in, everybody, for this impromptu chat. As I always say, fostering friendship, fellowship in our communities equally as important as talking about newsmatic news and information and strategies on stacking. So, just if you get these alerts, please come on in. You can lurk behind in the shadows, or you can be in the chat. It's all good. Just gives everybody a chance to converse with everyone, and then everyone to converse with everyone else. So it's all good. So thanks for stopping by, folks. You have a great evening, and we will see you next time.